Hi, I'm Valentin, freelance sound designer for games, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to set up custom-shaped ambient zones for 3D environments in Unity. Sometimes a specific area on the map where a sound should be played back in can't be covered with the basic geometry shapes available in Unity without overlaps or gaps. With this system, you can draw any shape on the map to play back audio from, and seamlessly fade in and out the sound based on the player's distance. This is particularly useful for ambient and regional-based sounds. Let's see it in action. In this example, I have a tree grove I want to play back bird sounds in. When the player approaches, the sound moves along the drawn shape as long as the player is on the outside. Once the player enters the shape, the sound attaches to the character and travels along with it. After exiting the shape, the sound detaches from the player and moves back along the drawn shape. So how is this done? First of all, we need to draw the shape. To do so, I'm using the built-in CinemachinePath component, as it already provides a lot of the features needed and requires little additional scripting. Even though this is a tool used for cinematic camera movement, it basically just creates a spline that can be used for anything. Just add some waypoints and move them around. Each waypoint has two settings to adjust. One sets the position of the point, and the other defines the tangent of the curve to smooth out the path. Once the shape is done, set it to looped to close it. Next step is to create a card that will move along the spline and hold the sound. This is where little custom scripting comes into play. Since I'm using a Cinemachine component, we need to use its namespace and declare the spline to follow along, as well as the player to track. We also need to define the card's position along the spline in path units. With path units, we are independent from the resolution of the path, as we are using the numbers of the waypoints to set the position, resulting in a smoother movement. After that, we use an update function to find the closest point on the spline to the player and set the position of the card to that location. Now the card follows the player's movement along the spline, but it does not yet attach to the player when entering the shape. To do so, we use a dot product. It basically checks if the player is inside or outside the shape by summing the axes from the spline and the player multiplied by each other. If the value is greater than 0, this means the player is inside the shape and we can attach the card to the player to travel along. That's it for the script and we're done. You can download the script in the description down below. Finally, we select the path as well as the player in our custom script and add the sound to the card. In my case, I'm using Fmod and therefore add a Fmod event emitter. But this also works with the built-in audio system of Unity or any other audio middleware. However, this system also has its limitation. Concave V-shapes can be troublesome when the player is standing right in the middle of the two sides, resulting in a bouncy card from one side to the other. So keep that in mind when drawing a shape. And that's it. You can use this method to create audio emitting areas of any shape and size. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.